It is the 7th day of March 2025, a day that we're here to inform you on what's happening in the country and beyond. Our reporters have been up and about, interacting with different issues and different people, and they have brought you different stories. But first, let's get a proper introduction and get right into the stories. This is KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. And our sign language interpreter tonight goes by the name Sami Okello. Now, President William Ruto and former Prime Minister and ODM leader Raila Odinga have today signed a memorandum of understanding in a ceremony attended by thousands of their supporters at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. Among the agreement is a full implementation of the NADCO report, submission to end corruption in the country, and stop wastage of public resources, particularly by leaders within the government, and reduce the cost of living.
Speculations of a possible coalition between President Ruto and Raila Odinga have finally come to pass with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the two of the country's biggest political parties, the ruling UDA party and the ODM, which had previously been part of the Azimio coalition in the opposition. The MOU was signed at the KICC with thousands of Raila Odinga and President Ruto supporters in attendance.
Hayawi!
President Ruto hailed the new ODM-UDA marriage, saying that it marks the end of tribalism, hatred and discrimination, calling it a new beginning in uniting all Kenyans.
Leo ni ile siku ya kumalizana na ukabila, kumalizana na chuki, kuondoa ubaguzi na kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Mimi nataka niwaulize wangwana wa Nairobi. Leo mimi na baba tumeweka sahihi maelewano ya kuunganisha taifa la Kenya iwe taifa moja. Tulete jamii zote za Kenya pamoja.
On his part, Raila Odinga emphasized that the unity of his party with the government was a courageous step, saying that ODM decided not to stay aside and criticize, but rather be part of the solution, stressing that the coalition had no political arrangements.
The cardinal goal of the MOU is to help ease the prevailing tensions in the country, reconcile the population, alleviate their suffering, and move the country forward by addressing the critical social, political, and economic issues our people are grappling with today.
The coalition between ODM and UDA aims to ensure the complete implementation of the NADCO report, reduce the cost of living, bring equity across the country, and ensure the protection and growth of devolution. The coalition also plans to increase job opportunities for Kenyans and ensure that the right to peaceful demonstrations is protected, with all victims of protests being compensated. The national debt will also be audited by both the government and ODM, with a commitment to fight corruption and end abductions in the country.
Governance is expressed through skewed allocation of resources, ethnic intolerance and marginalization, corruption, and noting that devolution, though intended to strengthen democratic governance and development at the grassroots, is systematically undermined and starved of funds. Now, therefore, His Excellency President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, EGH, being the party leaders of the largest political parties in Kenya and bearing the greatest political responsibility, acknowledge the need in setting up a broad platform for collaboration and cooperation between all political forces and other stakeholders in the Kenyan society.
Locations. Number 8, the fight against corruption. Kenya needs to move from talk to action. We must move from the fight against corruption to winning the war against corruption. We must enhance the capacity of institutions that enforce accountability, and particularly the offices of the Auditor General, the Controller of Budget, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Counties and political parties are also expected to benefit from this coalition, which will be done through consultations between President Ruto and Raila Odinga, as well as exchange of various experts from both two parties to ensure good governance. Blue Smile Hassan, KUTV.
In these same matters, a section of legislators across the political divide have backed President William Ruto and Raila Odinga's cooperation pact signed today at KICC. The legislators lauded President Ruto for working with his rival competitor, stating that they will not allow anyone to derail the unity and progress of the country. The MPs from Uasin Gishu, Western and Nyanza regions further asked Kenyans to support the unity pact between President and the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Following the agreement, both UDA and ODM parties will share political infrastructure on matters of national interest and also deploy their best experts for consultations on matters concerning governance of the country.
We are fully behind him, we are fully supporting it. Sisi tuna support rais, tuna support yeye kuungana na kufanya kazi na Wakenya wote.
Anybody who will obstruct Mheshimiwa Ruto ajue jeshi lake limejaa. Wanachungwa, tutakaa nyuma yake, na yule atazuia sisi tutapita na yeye, inji isonge mbele.
Yale imefanyika pale Nairobi siku ya leo, kaunti ya Uasin Gishu mahali president anatoka, sisi tunaunga mkono 100%. Kwa sababu rais wetu sio binafsi. Yeye akaamua hata shughulika na wale ambao wanapiga kelele ya kutaka kugawanya Wakenya kwa misingi ya kikabila na kijamii.
Mimi nataka kushukuru former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga kwa kukubali wito ya Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Kuna viongozi wengine huwezi kufanya kazi na wao hata ukitaka. Kazi asubuhi ni ukabila. Akilala ukabila. Akiamuka ukabila. Mimi nataka kuuliza watu ya kama shetani ashindwe ama asishindwe. Rais amefanya kuunganisha wa Kenya.
As the world marked International Women's Day, Kenyatta University was not left behind. At the university's BSSC Room 14, women were celebrated for their resilience and progress they have made over the years, sailing through discriminations of all kinds, despite numerous challenges existing in the society. The event, led by Kenyatta University's Vice Chancellor, saw those in attendance call on the government to quicken, the implementation of policies safeguarding women against gender-based violence.
The 7th of March 2025 is recognized internationally to be a day set aside to celebrate and honor women's existence and efforts across all fields. Having achieved so much over the years, women still encounter various challenges that are barriers rooted within cultural and social context.
I want to say, as a director of the center, discrimination has been the greatest barrier to gender equality as it violates individual rights according to the 2010 constitutions. And these are simple rights. For example, rights to food, right to education, rights to free movement, rights to health, and rights to justice.
In her speech, Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi, being represented by Professor James Kongo, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Washeke acknowledged notable women in the country who stood firm to bring forth changes that have served many generations.
Today we bring the celebration closer home as we reflect on progress made, call for change, and celebrate acts of courage and determination made by ordinary women who have played extraordinary roles in Kenya as they also advocated for women's rights.
She further appreciated Kenyatta University for being an institution that strives to promote excellence and inclusivity.
Over the years, Kenyatta University has achieved major milestones in her mission of creating a center of excellence that that is gender responsive, inclusive, and globally competitive.
The Kenyatta University Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Reporting app was also discussed, as students and any other person was encouraged to always voice up such kind of incidents.
Our role again as an ambassador is to help students to show them on how to use the app, to help them understand that it is safe to be in Kenyatta University. It is safe to report the gender-based violence cases without fear of discrimination or other things.
As the world marked International Women's Day 2025, the focus remains on the implementation of the existing policies to help curb cases of inequality and GBV. Ochieng Cynthia, KUTV.
Is addiction an illness? Addiction, often rooted in deeper psychological issues, wreaks havoc on lives and relationships, even as society stigmatizes those affected, causing them to shy away from seeking help. Psychologists emphasize the importance of support systems, mental health campaigns, and self-determination for recovery and addiction prevention. Our reporter Anyango Silva interacted with experts and recovering addicts, weighed the situation, and filed this special report.
Hii safari sijaanzia juzi, nilianza kitambo. So my initial stage nilianzia nikiwa way young, class 8.
This marked the onset of agony for Mutegi Gitonga, a recovering alcohol addict. Mutegi says that his environment and choice of friends were the leading catalyst for his addiction.
Unafika stage flani, like kama after my rite of passage, nikajiona mimi I'm grown. You get my point? Yeah, alafu pia nilikuwa na watu around me wanatumia na pia society vile pia ina glorify certain absurdities, pia wana normalize vitu zingine ambazo ni insanity tu yani.
A similar story is shared by Crispus Githai Kimani, who battled two addictions, alcohol and sex. For Githai, the need for recognition was the driving force behind his addiction, which began at the age of 17 when he was in Form 3.
Seeing other people drink and feeling like I would like to look masculine as they were. I was a small boy, so I had low self-esteem issues, and I felt like taking alcohol would make me feel like a man. So I saw my brothers drinking and I envied them, and I felt like, wow, they looked cool. I saw their friends drinking, and so I tried also.
For both Mutegi and Githai, their trials eventually developed into dependence, which led to irresponsible living, destroyed relationships, job loss, and a failed marriage for Githai.
Tulikuwa tunaenda kucheza basketball kwa church fulani kwa mahali Ruiru huko Baptista. Tunaenda kucheza huko na hatungecheza bila drink. Tunapitia kwa local palevo, tunachukulia makali, tunaenda kucheza bake.
By the time I was going to the university in 2002, I was an alcoholic. I always say within 2 years I was already an alcoholic. You see, all this time I'm drinking. I don't have a girlfriend. I have never dated. I don't even know about sex. And within 2003, I think I was introduced to a friend of mine. Took me to a brothel in Eldoret, and it felt so good. What I didn't know was that now I had the alcohol addiction. Now, anytime I would drink alcohol, I would look for prostitutes. I was staying in Pipeline. Now in Pipeline, there are these Mabati brothels where you even get sex for 100 shillings. That was my home.
In December 2024, a report by Med Archive indicated that 28% of women and 22% of men exhibited depressive symptoms, while 12% of women and 8% of men showed signs of general anxiety. Elvis Barasa, a clinical psychologist at New Chapter Place Counseling and Rehabilitation Center, notes that these groups often turn to alcohol for comfort, driven by confiding in the wrong people.
If truly you have maybe emotional disturbances, I will keep you with the tools. It is you to use the tools to help you, not me. I cannot help you practically. I can only equip you with the tools, So people perceive therapy as, they want to get, it's not a quick fix.
At the same time, Sheila Gesare, a counseling psychologist at Elewa Ulevi Rehab, highlights that living in denial is a significant reason many affected individuals shun away from seeking help.
There is an increase in people looking for assistance in rehab, though it's not easy because most of the people think that they don't have a problem. They feel like people going to rehab, and also the addicts don't believe that we have a substance use issue.
Having been brought up in church as an altar boy, Githai recounts how guilt and shame filled his life whenever he was sober, thereby attempting suicide by trying to drink himself to death.
You know, I was brought up a Catholic. I was even an altar boy. So nikifanya hizi vitu zote, you can imagine the next morning the guilt and the shame. So hapo uko na mama mpaka hata hawezi amka na yeye ati umelala na yeye. So unaambiwa aenda ufungue ati mifupa inauma, enda ufungue ba. Sometimes ukiwa kama huko mlevi unajiuliza what is this? Is this lakini wewe ukichapa cup moja tu hivi na uongeze ka KK, unachangamka, una feel this is the world.
Mutegi shares similar experiences of shame and guilt in his attempts to quit alcohol.
Watu wamekuzoea shujaa fulani, mwanaume, unaenda kufanya nini kwa ati therapy, kwani wewe ni mwendo wazimu? So many times nilikuwa najaribu kuacha. Initially my people walinisaidia. I think the only people ambao wako give up on me ni my mom and sister. Yeah, na kid bro. It's a very expensive affair. Sitakudanganya, lazima pia ukuwe na some muscles financially.
I would have hallucinations, I would have cravings, nilikuwa najifungia kwa hao. Naambia mama mwingine anaitwa mama Mwangi anifungie kwa hao pia nisitoke. Nateseka because I didn't want to tell my family about all my drinking and all. Yani venye nafanya because they had cut off. Yani walikuwa wame give up. And I don't blame them.
Gesare observed that addiction management is more accessible to those with financial resources than those living in informal settlements.
At the moment, people living in the downtown wakona easier access to substance use. And even the shocking part in this addiction journey, most of the clients using drugs are in the uptown. Because at the moment, because of the social media, you're able to access substances at the comfort of your home. And now, being that this person is able to access substance at the comfort of his or her home, they can access rehab. It's quite easy because are able to pay.
In a significant legal development, the Kenyan High Court ruled in January 2025 that criminalizing attempted suicide is unconstitutional. This decision underscores the necessity for mental health support rather than punitive measures for individuals in crisis. Barasa cautions that while the ruling is progressive, it could pose new challenges to the country's mental health landscape.
For a person to reach to that position of wanting to end it all, it means that that particular person has reached rock bottom. The patient that we have here, it's their loved ones or people around them that come to their aid. Because them, they just engage a phrygia and they are there where I sit. I think that it will just lead to a surge of these suicide cases.
As psychologists and non-governmental organizations advocate for the recovery of addicts, they are calling on the government and the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Police Department and the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, to intensify mental health campaigns, crack down on illegal alcohol outlets, and regulate social media to minimize addiction triggers, especially for the underage. Recovering addicts like Mutegi Gitonga and Crispus Githai emphasize that recovery only works when one is willing to push themselves to the limit. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Thank you, Onyango Sylvia, for that special feature tonight. Now we take a short break right here on KUTV Primetime News tonight. We'll be back in just but a bit. Keep it here.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Mutegi K. Martin. Remember, this live broadcast is also streaming on YouTube as we speak at KUTV News Kenya. And of course, conversations happening at KUTV_Kenya on X. Be sure to talk to us and tell us what your feedback is according to the news that is coming to you right now. Now, Mining Cabinet Secretary Hassan Joho, while meeting with investors at Kilifi County, ordered for the immediate halting of operations at all mining sites at Jaribuni area in Kauma sub-county after Kilifi County residents protested of health hazards linked to mining activities in the area, while accusing the mining companies of failing to remit royalties to the communities. Jaribuni residents further lamented of living in a polluted, dusty environment. Here's that story, produced by Ryan Makona and voiced by Theo Masharia.
Following protests by Kilifi County residents over health hazards and environmental pollution brought about by mining activities in the area, Mining Cabinet Secretary Ali Hassan Joho has ordered for the immediate closure of all mining sites at Jamhuri area. The mining companies have also been put on the spot for failing to remit royalties to the communities and not maintaining the dusty roads leading to the site.
Is that operations are mining from now, they are gone. They will not happen. Nobody will mine until we agree.
CS Joho warned the mining companies that failure to comply with his directives would lead to them being permanently banned.
Ya kutengeza sheria za mining is to cushion mwananchi kwanza wa pale. Primarily, mwananchi lazima awe cushion. Ndio maana iko royalty, iko consent, iko lease agreement. Kama shamba ni yako fair, kama kuna jamii, you must have an agreement with the jamii so that wajue wao wanapata nini.
Youth leader Kamisi Mwararu, while speaking at the same meeting, pointed out that people have lost their lives and so many others are receiving treatment due to environmental pollution in the area. CS Joho called on investors to prioritize human life and health for a harmonious coexistence within the region. Theo Masharia for KUTV.
Now, persons living with disabilities, PWDs, in Kirinyaga County will benefit from increased job opportunities and inclusivity following the approval of the Disability Bill 2023. The law reserves 5% of county jobs for PWDs while also establishing special fund for their economic empowerment. And in Laikipia, traders are undergoing a week-long occupational safety training to reduce workplace hazards. More on these stories in our county wrap tonight with Yvonne Kemuma.
The Kirinyaga County Assembly has passed the Disability Bill 2023, paving way for the creation of a county disability board to champion the rights and welfare of persons living with disabilities. The legislation pushes forward initiatives to address long-standing inequalities and ensure inclusivity in county programs and services. The Honorable Benson Gahu-led Committee on Agenda and Youth notes that the bill seeks to improve the living standards of persons living with disabilities through rehabilitation programs, equitable resource allocation, and structured advocacy.
So this bill has many things. So, for example, it establishes a board with members who have disabilities so that it can advocate for their rights. The board will ensure and help people with disabilities in Kirinyaga County. Whatever their issues, they can bring their issues to this board on different matters.
Elsewhere in Laikipia County, more than 100 traders in Nanyuki have participated in a week-long training on occupational safety and health aimed at reducing workplace hazards. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Labor, specifically targets small and medium enterprises, SMEs, in the Juakali sector, focusing on equipping them with practical skills to mitigate work-related risks.
Kuna hazards kadhaa na mojawapo ni sekta ya jua kali ambayo kuna kuumia hapa na pale. Kwa hivyo haya mafundisho yanawasaidia vile jinsi ambavyo wanaweza kujikinga na kuumia mahali pao pa kazi.
Remained also having the kit, because anything can happen. And also hiyo mambo tu ya fire extinguisher, bado moto inaweza happen pale. So whenever you're having this training, it's very important that we know how to use the fire extinguisher and such, how to place on your neck, and also maybe getting to have the fire exits mingi kwa the facility that you have around.
The training attracted a diverse group of participants, including traders from the manufacturing sector, fashion industry, saloonists, and vendors. And in Kilifi County, the Kilifi County government has unveiled a fully equipped modern radiology unit at the Kilifi County Referral Hospital, offering subsidized diagnostic services to residents. Speaking during the launch, the County Executive Committee member CECM of Health Peter Mwarogo highlighted the impact of the new unit. The radiology unit is expected to facilitate cheaper medical services.
Mako ukienda Pandia unalipa pesa ngapi? Hii ndio unapatikana Pandia tu. Pandia unalipa shilingi ngapi? CT scan 15,000. Ukija hapa majirani yetu wako na 16 slice wanacharge 10,000. Hii ni 64 slice. It's one of the best machines you have today in the world. We went to Arab Health, we went to Germany Medica, and this is the best machine you have in the market today. And this machine was not bought from a shop. It was designed from scratch. That's why it took time. That's why watu wengine walikuwa kwa mitandao wakipiga hadithi mingi, because they have no idea and they don't want to ask. This machine you order, then it's built for Kilifi.
Yvonne Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, as the world marks International Colon Cancer Awareness Month, Stoma World Kenya, in partnership with the Red Cross Kirinyaga chapter, has launched an initiative to fight stigma, advocate for better healthcare policies, and provide home care support to survivors, especially those in remote areas who struggle to access medical services. Our very own James Baraka with the details.
In a move to mark International Colon Cancer Awareness Month, Stoma World Kenya, in collaboration with the Kenya Red Cross Kirinyaga chapter, has launched an initiative aimed at creating awareness about colon cancer.
We are creating awareness
and improve the quality of life for survivors across the country.
We are taking this month very seriously to advocate for the
Obviously, if you wake up one morning and the way you normally reverse your nature of call has been diverted, you tend to close up because answering nature calls is a very intimate subject. Cancer is not a death sentence. Currently, we have patients who have been with us for the last 32 years with cancer. So that one proves to be cancer is not a death sentence. As long as you have gone for early screening.
Speaking during the launch of the initiative at Kerugoya Hospital Cancer Center, the Chief Executive Officer of Hospice Care Kenya, Nyeri Stephen Maswili, issued a clarion call to every Kenyan to embrace early cancer screenings at least once in a year.
Every Kenyan is good once in a year. You go for cancer screening, whether you are male or female or young or old. We do advocate for early screening because the moment you have found with any symptoms or illness, you are able to begin the palliative care aspect.
Mimi ni cancer survivor.
Eunice Njeria, colon cancer survivor diagnosed in 1998, shared her experience shedding light on the challenges that patients face daily.
Challenges is a bags.
Noting that the high cost of stomach bags makes life even more difficult for survivors, her remarks being echoed by Mary Wanjiru, another survivor.
I was diagnosed in 2000 and my journey has been a very difficult journey. For nearly 10 years I stayed without having seen any other person who had this condition, and I thought maybe it was a curse because most of the people are stigmatized and they do not like coming out to speak about this. Wenye wako kama mimi wasikufe moyo. Kama umediagnosed na umefanywa hizo vitu zote, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, jua sasa umepona. We are begging the government to really bring these screenings down so that at least people can, when they present early, they are able to be treated and cured. Because when you go early in stage 1, you don't even end up having a stomach.
According to the World Health Organization data of July 2023, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer worldwide, accounting for approximately 10% of all cancer cases, and is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths worldwide. James Baraka for KUTV.
25 minutes to the top of the hour. Time for us to take another short break right here on KUTV Primetime News tonight. We'll be back with sports news. Stay here.
So my name is Kutv. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa Okemwa Mokwa James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
We should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups
by providing the right facilities.
Welcome back. Let's dive into sports news. And Africa's fastest man, I beg your pardon, Ferdinand Omanyala has pitched camp at Kenyatta University Field as he prepares intensively for a packed 2025 season. Omanyala says his choice for KU as a training venue was necessitated by its state-of-the-art facility, making it an ideal venue for athletes to sharpen their skills after the closure of Moi and Kasarani Stadia for renovation. The Kenyan sensation held a training session with sports science students from KU, an initiative of nurturing young Kenyan sprinters.
The closure of Nyayo and Kasarani Stadium for renovation has forced top athletes to source for suitable training venues to sharpen their skills ahead of busy calendar in the year 2025. With the closure of otherwise his preferred training venues, Africa's fastest man Ferdinand Omanyala decided to knock the doors of Kenyatta University, and the institution opened its gate, its state-of-the-art facility making it an ideal place to harbor Omanyala, who has pitched camp at Kenyatta University pitch.
We've been coming here previously, but we've not gotten a chance to just come and train. And when all the stadiums were locked out, it was an opportunity to just come and, present ourselves. And not just that, because we are looking at a broader perspective in terms of sponsorship, because I have a foundation that I'm looking to, push athletics and education at the same time, because I'm a student on myself, and I understand that after retirement we all need something to do. So we are pushing that agenda, and KU is the perfect university to just come and, give scholarships if they can to the student athletes, and have a program that supports student athlete kind of life.
But now having someone as great as he is for whole of Africa, identify with what it is that we have to offer, we are very happy, and we show gratitude for the support, but we also want to announce that we have the facilities that fit, providing what others like him would want to have. So for him to come here, it's a commendation, and we are happy that he's agreed to work with us.
As a product of the university talent, the venue offers perfect opportunity for Omanyala to interact with sports and physical education students from KU to pass down his knowledge and vast experience with the aim of nurturing young Kenyan sprinters starting from primary school to professional levels.
One thing I always remember is at some point I'll exit the sport, and that time is coming. And I want to leave a big void in this country. And, the last time we had a professional sprinter was 6 years ago, more than 6 years ago for that matter. So it will be my joy to see more sprinters come up in the next 10 years. So that's why you saw me trying to help the guys today and just show them a bit of tips in terms of sprinting. But yeah, we're going to do as much as we can to push with the Omanyala Foundation just to have more and more sprinters come up.
KU tries to support these programs using these facilities. At the same time, we are envisaging to have a high-performance center where Omanyala will find even easier access, and also for him to be able to expound on his training, among other things. So KU is set on supporting sports and also bringing people, graduates, who are sports support personnel.
My experience today has been amazing. I've learned concerning the mental aspect when it comes to handling pressure, especially when it comes to athletes. Yeah, it's very important. That is my takeaway.
I've learned in PE, in physical education, we take part in athletics. Yes, so in athletics, I've learned something. Like when I came here, I saw him doing the high extension with doggy. We were told it high extension with doggy.
The Kenyan sensation will be jetting out of the country on Friday next week for his first race of March, has vowed to approach each race at a time, noting the pressure that comes with being top athlete.
There's always pressure, of course, before races, before big championships. There's that part that you remember, people are talking about you, the whole world is putting in conversations. But then when you get into the track, the pressure disappears. For me, I don't really have so much pressure when I'm running. I just have pressure before because there's press conferences and, there's a lot of things happening.
As he gears up towards a packed 2025 season, Omanyala's message to Kenyans is not to be too quick to judge athletes based on their low season. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you so much for staying tuned to KUTV Primetime News tonight. for approximately 45 minutes of happenings in the country and beyond our borders. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the broadcast tonight. And I want to leave you with a wish for a beautiful weekend that will be restful and stress-free. And as we get into the weekend, I pray that you take some time to rest and reflect on life as it continues to unfold. Sami Okello is a sign language interpreter tonight. My name is Mutegi K. Martin. Good night. God bless.